Hey, awesome entrepreneurs. I am Sudarshan and I want to welcome you to the third episode of AtomicPreneur Show. This is where we interview entrepreneurs, marketers, coaches, and consultants who are currently dominating on their industry. So, on the third episode of AtomicPreneur Show, I'll be interviewing the most awaited guest from the day one, the one who have impacted most of our lives. Hold tight, cause today we got a super special guest in the house. Get ready for a mind blowing journey surviving from final suicide attempt to multi seven figure business. Today, our guest will be sharing with us how he overcome addiction and depression to build a multi-million-dollar business, how he became the number one affiliate of 𝗷𝗫𝗄𝗃, which is a dominating software company, how he won the 𝗕𝗂𝗁𝗃𝗏 Award, and how he is creating impact on thousands of people's lives. How a suicidal addict achieved success against all the odds. So let's dive in and get inspired. So without further delay, let's welcome James Neville-Taylor on the stage. Hi, James. Happy Friday. How are you doing today?
Hi, my friend. Happy to be here. Happy Friday. How you doing?
Absolutely amazing. And after watching you, I'm really feeling blissful that you're on live with me.
Awesome, awesome. Happy to be here, my friend.
Yeah, so I'd love to get started with some quick questions. So your journey is truly remarkable, James. And can you take us back to the beginning and share what led you to the darkest moment in your life and what ultimately motivated you to overcome it and turn your life around?
Absolutely. So let me start by saying nothing I tell you today is under the guise of making you feel sorry for me, making me seem more accomplished, or milking how much I've overcome in life. Everyone has their life point, where it's long, a job we hate, getting fired, being in debt, losing a partner, losing our home, being diagnosed with cancer. We all have our low point. For me, it was a suicide attempt. Now, I just want to take a moment to say I'll be talking about some very personal things today, and my goal is not to make anyone feel uncomfortable. I'm not trying to trigger anyone. In the online world, there's so much BS, so many outright lies, so much deception, so many scams, so much fraud, and so many hoaxes. I want to tell the truth today. And that brings us nicely back to a time when I started affiliate marketing. When I first started affiliate marketing, you probably when you hear the word affiliate marketing, you probably have a deep visceral reaction to hearing those words. And the big thing is that we're sick of the lies in affiliate marketing. Making millions as an affiliate marketer is easy, says the TikTok influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers. Give me $3,000 and I'll show you the number one secret, making thousands every day as an affiliate marketer, says the guru standing in front of his private jet, right? So show of hands here, how many people are sick to death of seeing those kind of people online? The majority of those gurus and influencers never show you the real work that goes into an online business or any kind of marketing for that matter. So when I first got started, and in under 1 year from trying to take my own life, I was one of the top affiliates for the company that I was promoting for. And since then, I've become a top affiliate for 3 different companies. I'm currently the number 1 affiliate in the world for a huge software company called 𝗷𝗫𝗄𝗃. And in fact, if you look closely at the figures, I'm almost double second place inside of 𝗷𝗫𝗄𝗃. And I'm not only a top affiliate for multiple companies, but also a top 5% vendor as well. And I've spoken from stage in front of thousands of people at internet marketing conferences around the world, including 7 different countries. So all of this was achieved by simply learning how to crack the code of affiliate marketing and apply it to every single promotion that I do. Now, enough about me.
Yeah, absolutely. I can completely relate your journey, like starting from scratch. So though I'm like a little bit, I started recently, like maybe too much late rather than you, but I can totally feel that, like how also I get started with a lot of stuff back and forth going on. And when I see you and I when I got started my affiliate marketing journey with your program, especially the RPM one. Like, that was just wow for a moment from me. There was nothing simple like that to make your first commission, or maybe making the first commission online. It was much more, you made the process much more easier for us, and definitely, like, you owe and deserve a lot more that you're doing for us.
Awesome, awesome.
So,
I'm so glad to hear. I'm so glad to hear that, my friend. It's a pleasure to see you earning commissions and taking action inside the system and all of the stuff that you've done since. So I'm super excited about that. So back onto the topic of my story. Sorry, the original question that you were asking me. So it's super hot here, so I'm super sweaty and super bit flustered at the moment because it's so hot. So let's go back to the beginning. Until the age of 5, I lived a very sheltered life. My mother interfered in my life as little as possible, and in an attempt to give me the freedom that she never had as a child growing up. My mother's boyfriends were violent lowlifes who abused me physically, emotionally, and verbally on a regular basis. My grandparents would continue to spoil me, which quickly led to me not respecting or valuing anything. When the first PlayStation came out, I destroyed 3 of them in the first year, but my nan would always buy me a replacement the very next day. So I was growing up with no morals and no mercy. The violence inflicted on me by my mum's boyfriends and other people around caused me to start picking on people and start turning into a horrible person. In the eyes of society at the time, I was a problem child. It meant I was prescribed sleeping pills, diagnosed with ADHD, and topped up with even more pills to keep me calm at school. The pills kept coming, and so did the abuse at the hands of my mum's violent boyfriend. And when social services got involved after teachers started seeing the bruises on my arms and shoulders, my mum finally packed up and left. And I thought that would be a fresh start that I needed, but I was wrong. In our new place, my mum frequently hired a babysitter to look after me and my younger brother. And one day the babysitter's brother took over because she was too busy. Little did I know that what seemed like an innocent schedule change would take me into the next circle of my personal hell. This guy was one of the sickest, most twisted people I ever met. I know we often question if being born evil is a thing, but with this guy, I just can't even think of any other way a person could be totally immoral. This time I was sexually abused too. My days as an outspoken, boisterous kid were over as I shrunk into a subdued, fearful shadow of my former self. The one thing that didn't go away was my rage. And seriously, I could have given the Incredible Hulk a run for his money back then. So I lost all respect for my mum and went in and out of a care system like I was permanently walking through a revolving door. Foster homes, children's homes, I did the full circuit. At one point, I was even transferred into a secure unit after I saying I wanted to kill myself for attention. And at 15 years old, I was kicked out of my last children's home. And throughout my years of being put down, humiliated, abused, and beaten by my peers and authority figures, I came completely numb. I acted like I was normal and fit in everywhere, but on the inside, I was dying. And I was always on something to keep my anxiety at bay. No one knew that I was dying inside and losing my identity. And every day was the same ritual. I'd wake up, do whatever I could not to be alone with my thoughts, and shut off the negativity and horror inside of my head. And I started gaining weight from sitting around all day. My health started to seriously deteriorate. And in January 2017, I hit my lowest point. But you know what they say, sometimes you have to hit your lowest point to be able to climb back up. So in January 2017, I took an overdose and thought all of my years of struggling, crying, and torturing myself were over. So waking up 2 days later in a pool of my own vomit came as quite a surprise. And I felt like shit, I looked like shit, and I smelled like shit. So I did what any other person would do after waking up like that. I started binge watching TV. I started binge watching Game of Thrones. And days went by, I found myself asking some serious questions in my head. So what are you doing? Do you really want to go out like this? Do you really want to leave your mum with a dead son? Do you really want to end your life knowing you could have been something and done so much more? And I realized for the first time in a long time that I wanted to live. In that fateful day, something awoke inside of me, a burning desire to make something of myself and make up for all the years I'd wasted. Everyone else thought I was useless and that I'd never amount to anything. Everyone except my mum. So, and despite our checkered past, my mum had always believed in me and knew I had great potential. but I never believed her up until this point. So I stopped smoking, I stopped playing video games, I stopped doing all of the negative stuff that I was doing, and I started reading books again. I took some online courses and decided to make something of myself. I had no social skills. I was really scared around people. I could barely look anyone in the eye without triggering a panic attack. So I couldn't go into a normal job, a regular job. So I went into the only thing that I could think of, which was digital marketing. I thought I could make something of myself without ever having to show my face and never have to interact with people. You can see that didn't work out so well now, but but I did make something of myself while I was still learning and while I was still growing. And since that fateful moment, I've become a top affiliate for 𝗙𝗪𝗏, top affiliate for multiple other companies, and helped hundreds of people earn hundreds of thousands of dollars online. So, which I'm super proud that 𝗕𝗪𝗏 is one of them. So after a little while, I started speaking on stage and I started opening up about my story, because you never know how many people you can affect with your story.
That's really heart-touching, like this. The way you have started, like most of the people, like on your childhood, it was going through a lot of traumas and all other stuff. And on that sense, it's really difficult for someone to actually think over something big. And you pass those stages and now have become the #1 affiliate or #1 on the business or on this industry, like the #1 affiliates plus the #1 entrepreneur. So I can literally feel your journey, and I was getting emotional by hearing your journey, because I have never faced that, at least 1% of your stuff, like on my childhood. I'm living a normal, stable life, but the things that you have gone so far after that got motivated from someone and back on the game. It was really inspiring that, yeah, there is another way to get back onto life, to do something better. So thanks for sharing, James. I do have another question. So, like, overcoming addiction and depression is no small feat. Can you share some specific strategies or practices that help you to break free from those challenges? And how have they contributed to your success as an entrepreneur?
Absolutely. So it was a very gradual progression with me. So when I first started in 2017, I was too scared to even put a profile picture up. Now, that may seem ridiculous and not something that should scare you, but at the time, my confidence was so low. I thought people were going to make fun of me. I thought I was ugly, and because that was what I was used to a lot of my life. So even just something as simple as putting a profile picture up was a challenge for me, and I talked myself out of it multiple times, but eventually I did it. I put my profile picture up, put my face out there, and overcame that. And taking that action and overcoming that fear is kind of a habit that you can implant into yourself. The more times you take action in spite of fear, the more you're building that habit to keep on taking action and keep on saying yes to the opportunities. So that was the first step. The next step was just making a post on Facebook, something original. I never thought I had any value to give or anything valuable to share. So I always talked myself out of posting anything original and just posted quotes. But one day I went through and I actually posted it and didn't delete it. And again, no negative feedback, nothing terrible happened. So that again helped build up a little bit of confidence. And a little bit later, I was invited to speak on a summit. I think this was near the end of 2017. And at this point, I was so scared on video, I couldn't even get a sentence out. So going on a summit where it's like 30-minute presentation with a load of people watching, it was a very, very scary thing at the time. But so originally I said no. But I remembered a quote from Richard Branson, and he said, if you're not sure you can do something, if someone offers you a great opportunity, you're not sure you can do it, say yes and learn how to do it later. So I rang the back and I said, yes, I'll do it. But I didn't have very long to prepare because someone had dropped out and the summit was in 2 days. So I over prepared. I scripted every single word. I went out and bought a new microphone. I went out and bought a new camera and all of this stuff. And the day came, I went on and did the presentation, and people were saying they could barely hear me. They could hear me a tiny little bit, but they could barely hear me. And after the presentation was over, I looked down and I saw a red light on my microphone, and I quickly turned the same color because I'd done the entire presentation on mute. Such a silly mistake, and could have been devastating. And at the time it was devastating. I was super embarrassed. But the host allowed me to do a re-record a week later, and everyone was really understanding and nice about it instead of ridiculing me and mocking me, which again was new to me. I was used to being ridiculed and mocked most of my life. This new supportive community and people giving me second chances was very new to me. So what could have been a terrible experience turned into a really positive experience and a nice experience. And again, that really helped build up my confidence and build up overcoming those struggles which I'd struggled with in the past. So it was a very gradual progression. You've got to do small things that scare you to build up to the big things. But the most important thing is doing something that scares you every single day to push you forward. Because if you do something that scares you every single day, you'll be amazed in 30, 60 days how much you've overcome and how little you're scared of now.
Awesome, my friend. Like, I can still remember you always used to say, like, if you want something that you never had, you have to do something you have never done before. Like, you have to be uncomfortable to do the stuff. So
Absolutely.
when I also got started, like, I was feeling a lot of nervous to create a single post, just like you sharing my pictures online. So definitely I can resonate the story and the backstory that you've started earlier. So before going to the next question, I would love to invite who are watching it live, like 𝗵𝗂𝗋𝗃, Casey, and 𝗏𝗪𝐺𝐺. So you can drop your questions if you want to ask something to James Neville-Taylor. He'll be happy to answer all of your questions. So if you're watching it live, you can drop your questions if you have something for James to answer. So James, can I give back to the next questions? You're muted.
Absolutely, my friend.
And it's all about the 𝗵𝗪𝗋𝗃. So you're real superstar of 𝗵𝗪𝗋𝗃, the #1 athlete of dominating software company. So can you walk us through how you achieved this impressive milestone, and what advice do you have for aspiring affiliate marketers who is looking to replicate your success online?
Absolutely. So when I first got started promoting 𝗵𝗪𝗋𝗃, I was obviously a small fish. I had no success and no name, no audience. And I thought there's no possible way that I can compete with these guys on the leaderboards. There was people with like 10,000, 15,000 sales, and there's me coming in at absolute zero. So I had no idea that I was going to be able to become the #1 affiliate. I thought, how am I going to compete with these guys? They've got big audiences, they've got this, they've got that. But against all the odds, I now am the #1 affiliate by far, almost double second place. And there's a few reasons for that. And one of the reasons is because I reinvest every single penny that I get back into advertising. So most people, as soon as they get an extra 1,000 or 2,000 a month, sorry, they go into a new apartment, they'll buy a new car, they'll get new clothes, so on and so forth. But I reinvested every single penny back into my business. I was driving a old Suzuki Swift. It cost me £170 when I first bought it, and I was still driving that when I was earning over 5,000 a month. I was still living in a cold old apartment until I was earning over 10,000 a month, because I was constantly reinvesting every single penny that I have back into advertising. So I ran Google ads, I ran Facebook ads, I ran YouTube ads. I was testing all of these ads, whereas other people, like I say, will go out and spend money on extravagant things that they don't need. I was constantly reinvesting back into YouTube, back into Facebook, back into Google, testing out different angles, split testing, tracking everything, and then doubling down every single penny that I earned back into the things that were working the best. So the biggest advice that I can give to you as an affiliate marketer is, as soon as you do start to make a little bit of money, is reinvest back into your ads, back into your business, back into training, back into bettering yourself, and never stopping learning. So another thing is, on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram, the platforms change. So when I first got started, it was Facebook. I was posting in groups, getting leads from Facebook, from engagement posts and all of that good stuff. Now the lowest hanging fruit is TikTok and Instagram, short form videos. That's where the lowest hanging fruit is now, and that's what's working now. But what doesn't change is the strategies on these platforms. The platforms may change, but the strategies on these platforms don't change. And you've got to adapt and overcome to the new platforms which are coming out, and ride in that wave. So like I say, Facebook was for me when I first got started. Now Instagram and TikTok is a huge one. So you've got to identify the trends, see which social media platforms are really working and really popping, and then go after them.
Absolutely, my friend. Like the tools that you have become the #1 athlete, I'm also using it almost a year. And the tools that love for all-in-one feature in the same place. And most important part, building up the recurring commissions. And the way you did it and you shared the takeaways, like reinvesting on the game so that you can grow more rather than spending on fancy stuff. That's a great note that I've taken from you. And also, as you have mentioned, that we have to not only just stick to one only platform and thinking that that will go for lifetime. So we have to go with the trends. So whenever the trends come, then like as you said, you have started with Facebook and then jumping into other platform too. So I was also testing out, like after jumping into RPM stuff, I was also testing out different traffic sources like the Google ads and YouTube ads, solo ads, and all other stuff. And few things works great for me, and few things didn't. But still, that bring me still a good recurring commission. So even this RPM and the bidder all bringing me the recurring commission that I can easily live a life in Bangladesh easily. That the recurring commission I'm getting from there. So, and you have already made it more than, I guess, 1 million, maybe 100K plus sales of the builder, I believe, so far. And that's a massive number. So I'll get back to the other questions regarding, and I know like your story is not just about personal success, but also about making a positive impact on thousands of people's lives. So how have you leveraged your success to help others? And what do you believe is the role of giving back in the entrepreneurship world?
Awesome. That's a very good question. So there's a few different ways that I'm giving back at the moment. The first one is through my story, through my book. So I share my story very openly, and I like to inspire and motivate people to become their best selves. I think so many people live way below their potential, and I think that's a tragic waste. So I like to break the stigma around mental health, show that anyone can do this, no matter what dark place you're in right now. You can. It's never too late to make something of yourself. I'm living proof of that, and I really realized the power that my story had to impact people the first time I went to New York. And so I'll tell you the story quickly. And the first time I went to New York, I got into an Uber ride into the city. It was about a 45-minute Uber ride into the city, and the guy and me got talking. So we got into my story, my business, and all of that good stuff, what I did. And then he says at the end that he also suffered sexual abuse as a child, and that he'd had suicidal thoughts in the last 6 months alone. And at the end of the ride, we exchanged numbers, and he texted me the next day, and what he said next changed everything for me. He said, "Thank you for being so open and honest with me. It was what prompted my honesty. I've never done that before." I said, "What, you've never shared your story with a stranger before?" He was like, "No, I've never shared that with anyone before." So he hung on to that pain and everything that he went through as a child for over 20 years before he told another single soul. And he didn't tell his mum, he didn't tell his family, he didn't tell his girlfriend, he told no one until a random 45-minute Uber ride, a random stranger in a 45-minute Uber ride opened up enough to give him the space and safeness to share. So that really changed everything for me. That was when I started writing my book. That was when I started speaking on stages more. And that was where I started sharing my story as much as possible to inspire and motivate people to become their best selves and really break the stigma around mental health. In the UK, the leading cause of death for between 18 and 35-year-olds is suicide for men, which is absolutely huge. And it's because we don't have anyone to talk to. We're supposed to, and in society's eyes, we're supposed to be strong and masculine and not complain and not show our emotions and all of that, which is utter bullshit if you ask me. I'm fighting to really break the stigma around that and let people know that it is okay to talk about. If anything, the people who don't suffer with some of these thoughts and negative stuff are in the minority. So I really want to try and break the stigma around mental health, share my story as much as possible, and save as many lives from suicide as possible. And again, we're doing that. We're in the process of starting a charity in the US, which is going to help people who are struggling right now. So if we were in a similar position to I was, and any other mental health problems, put them in touch with people who can help with support groups and all of that good stuff. And again, sharing my story far and wide as much as possible to help as many people as possible. So that's one side of it, is the mental health side of things, the giving back, sharing my story. The other side of it is the affiliate marketing side of things. So I believe affiliate marketing is the best and easiest business model in the world for anyone. You can do it without showing your face. It's probably the lowest stress business model in the world, because you don't have to worry about upkeep, you don't have to worry about support, you don't have to worry about refunds, chargebacks, merchant accounts, all of the stuff that goes into being a vendor, which is a lot. Trust me, being an affiliate marketer is a lot easier than being a vendor. So I like to help people, teach people how to be a successful affiliate marketer, which is what I do in my RPM and MAB systems. So my RPM, I give away a ton of free value, a ton of free training inside of the RPM for anyone to be able to get started with affiliate marketing and earn some commissions. So that's the side of it, which I'm giving back on the entrepreneurship side.
Awesome, my friend. Like, as you're mentioning the book that you have recently launched, like Beyond the Horizon, I guess. And can you share us a little bit more about and how my audience can get it, like where you have shared all your story from the back, like how can we get it, the book, like if someone of my audience wants to get it?
Sorry, you broke up there, my friend. Could you say that again?
So I was mentioning about the book that you have recently launched, sharing your all story, how you have transformed your life from the beginning. So can you share a little bit more how, if any of my audience want to get this book, how they can get it?
Absolutely, yes. It's on Amazon at the moment. So it's called From Beatdown to Backup and Beyond. You can see this is the cover here. So if you see that cover on Amazon, but yeah, From Beatdown to Backup and Beyond. It's on all the Amazon stores, amazon.com.co.uk and all around the world. So yeah, Beatdown to Backup and Beyond. And I'd love if you could leave an Amazon review as well. That would really help.
Awesome. Yeah, I can see it on the background of your table, I guess. So it's awesome. I'll definitely get it soon, very soon. So
awesome, thank you.
I do have another questions regarding the 𝗂𝗏 award. So I guess you have not publicly shared it yet. So would you like to share something like winning the 𝗂𝗏 award is a massive achievement for you or in the entrepreneurship journey? So can you tell us about the key milestone and strategies that lead you to the achieving that milestone, like earning that 𝗂𝗏 award after hitting the multi-million in your business?
Yeah, so the 𝗂𝗏 award is for the RPM funnel. We've done over $1 million with the RPM funnel in the last year alone, which is super exciting. And we're growing like crazy at the moment. It's insane to watch the numbers growing, watching all the success stories and people inside the group. Brand newbies getting commissions and stuff within days of starting, which I'm super happy and super proud of. If there was one thing that I could say which contributed to the success over everything, I mean, the RPM is a culmination of everything that I've learned over the last 6 years since I started. So there's no one thing to it. There's a lot that went into it. But the biggest thing and the main thing which contributed to all the success that I've had across all of the programs is just not giving up. just not giving up, trying something and failing, trying something and failing. I've failed way more times than I've succeeded. I've put so much crap out there that it was impossible for me to fail because I just kept going. And, you know, fortune favors the bold, fortune favors the people who just don't give up. You know, that's really the test of anyone's success, is the people that don't give up. I'm sure every single successful person out there will tell you that they've failed way more times than they've succeeded. I can think of countless things that I've put out there that have failed. In fact, in my Builderall account and in my WordPress account, I think I have like 15 or 20 pages of funnels. So like 150, 200 different funnels and pages and giveaways and all of this stuff which hasn't worked. So that's the biggest lesson I can give you, is there's no secret, there's no shortcut, there's no secret little thing. It's just keep trying, keep failing, keep getting up, and keep getting up.
Awesome, my friend. Like as you have mentioned, the biggest thing is we have to keep trying and testing out all the things before finding out the biggest story, right? So yeah, absolutely. The RPM funnel that you have created with a lot of automation tasks. I believe you're a big fan of automation, and you have made the things like super crazy. Someone will see it first time or maybe next time. Like the automation task that you have did on your system to easily bring out leads and more commission on automation. That's super crazy. I can say, like, I was like, when I first time joined it, I really loved it. Like how James did it. Like everything is automated. Like, and as you have mentioned, like nothing comes easily. Like nothing comes overnight. You have to test the things. There's success come after that. And yeah, and you did it with just one funnel on the funnel, I believe. So yeah, RPM is a great thing, which is still growing crazy on the market, and I can see a lot of success story there. So if any of my audience want to get access to the best value that they want to achieve from the James, definitely grab out his free training on the rapid profit machine. Definitely you are going to get the done for you funnel with the pre-made email sequence and all the training that you need to become successful online as an affiliate marketer. So that's awesome, James. Thanks for sharing the secret sauces. And as you've mentioned, the biggest secret is having no secret. Like there is no secret. You have to do something to get something. So
absolutely,
my friend, you have overcome some tough times to achieve success. So can you share some biggest breakthrough moments or choices that really helped you to succeed, even when things really looked tough? Like we cannot feel always motivated all the time, always go through ups and down processes. So would you like to share some of the breakthrough moment, like how you can push yourself back in the game?
Absolutely. The biggest thing is having a strong why. You've got to have a really strong why for doing this. Otherwise, when times get tough, you're going to give up. So when I first got started, my strong why was just to support myself. I was sick of living on benefits. I was sick of not being able to support myself. I was sick of everyone thinking I was a layabout loser and that I had no potential. So my why was literally just standing on my own 2 feet and being able to support myself. And that was super, super strong for me. And then when I achieved that, I had other goals. So I wanted to earn 10,000 a month. I wanted to provide for my family. I wanted to help my mum. So my mum is had been in a wheelchair for a few years. She's getting a lot better now. She's walking again now, and she's doing really well. But one of my big whys was to help get her the medical care that she needed and be able to take her out and be able to treat her. So that was a big why for me. So the biggest thing is having a big why pushing you forward to greater and greater heights. Yeah, you know, my why now is being able to save as many lives as possible from suicide, to inspire and motivate people to become their best self, so that they can live a life of purpose. So the biggest thing is having a big why driving you forward. That is the number one secret that I can share with you right now.
Awesome. Like as you have mentioned, our biggest why forced us to keep sticking on the game, like for the long time. Like if we don't have we need to find out our why to become stick at least to things, whatever we're doing on your journey or entrepreneurship area. So definitely our biggest why really help us a lot to stick on the game for the long time. Thanks for sharing, James, once again. And I would love to go forward, like looking forward, what are your future goals and aspiration as an entrepreneur? How do you plan to continue making more impact and inspiring others through your journey? So we'd like to share some of your future goals that you want to, that you have.
Awesome. That's a good question, my friend. So one of my big goals is I want to help 1 million people make their first commission online. So I want to be able to say that I helped 1 million people who have been struggling, or maybe they just started, but I want to help at least 1 million people have their first commission online. I also want to make 1,000 millionaires. That's another big goal for me as well, making 1,000 millionaires. And I'm working towards that with my new higher ticket coaching programs, which I'm super excited about. And another big one of my goals, which I shared with you a moment ago, is again to share my story as much as possible, inspire and motivate people to become their best self and save as many lives from suicide as possible.
Awesome. And like the massive number that you have shared, like 1 million, I believe you'll definitely achieve it very soon. Like you're already creating a lot of effects. I can see thousands of success stories inside the RPM group and all over the world. Like, yeah, definitely we'll be achieving a big number. Like, as a part of the RPM program, I definitely have that belief that you definitely will be seeing that milestone for achieving the millions people, to helping them, maybe getting back them from their situation or helping them to get out their current or painful situation. So as you're mentioning about your high ticket program, though, so I would like to just ask you about that program. Like you have recently revamped your high ticket program, the Massive Affiliate Blueprint. So would you like to share some sneak peek about your program, like what you're bringing new or how it's going so far?
Yeah, I can talk about that for a moment. So yeah, we recently revamped the MAB to include more coaching. We now have weekly coaching calls. There's brand new funnels, new done for you email sequences. And the way we use the email sequences, we use something called auto tag technology. So you can download a full year's worth of email sequences, dozens of different income streams, and have all of your links and signature updated in all of those emails without you having to hit edit on anything, which is super exciting. So in the new program, we provide step-by-step training on all things affiliate marketing, tracking, solo ads, Instagram, TikTok, all of the different traffic sources, and so much more. So what we're going to be doing in the future as well is we're going to be having coaches and people walking people through the funnel and all of that good stuff as well. So moving forward with the new funnel, it should be ready. It should all be done this week with the new coaching call and the new sales team, which is super exciting. We now have even higher packages for like one-on-one and all of that good stuff. And the new funnel is converting like crazy. I think we had our highest day the other day. Well, actually, our highest day was during a launch. We did the MAB launch. We did a couple of 100,000 in a day. But for a regular day, non-launch, we did almost $30,000 in one day the other day, which is super exciting. And there's tons of people coming into the program and earning thousands of dollars within their first 30 days. I think our number one student at the moment has earned over $15,000 in her first 12 days, which is insane. So yeah, the new funnel is super exciting. The new training is phenomenal. We're adding to it all the time. We've got people doing DM training, script training, Instagram training, and all of that good stuff. And I'm super excited. We're also going to be raising the price of MAB again very soon. So if you're on the fence, I would definitely think about getting it before the price goes up.
Definitely, the thing you're sharing, like I can still realize that the automation system that you have built for the RPM and maybe the older version still, like that's like super simplified for everyone to set up a high converting funnel on the back end. And learning from multiple seven-figure affiliate on the on group coaching call, like that's a massive opportunity that you're giving to the audiences, right? Like directly learning from you. I believe that will also help a lot of people to crack their success, because most of us really need someone rather than just a course. We need someone to hold our hand, to take our accountability and guide us what we have to do. And you are doing that right now, and I believe it's going to help a lot of people just like me, who are stuck on their journey, who don't have a mentor to guide, who don't have someone to keep their accountability.
Well, I think your mic's cut out.
Am I audible right now? Hello?
Yeah, you're back now.
Yeah, I was mentioning about the mentorship and coaching call that you're providing on the weekly session. So learning from someone who is on multiple seven-figure affiliates, and that's a massive opportunity for someone to learn directly from who have already gone through that path. And I believe you'll be creating more success with this live coaching calls, because we need someone to hold our hand to take the accountability that we need to grow more. And that's a massive movement, and I believe you'll be creating more multiple figures, and I hope that will be also crossing the $1 billion goal soon. So
absolutely,
that's awesome, my
You're
friend.
going to be one of those. You're going to be one of the 1,000 millionaires, my friend.
Thanks for motivating always. And just to my audiences, and I have something special for you if you are planning to take the chance of becoming a part of the Massive Affiliate Blueprint. I'll definitely drop the link below to this live, or where you're seeing this video. So also you can get my personal support on that. So you can personally reach out to me for a special offer if you're planning to join the Massive Affiliate Blueprint. I'll be happy to walk you through and happy to become a team member on the Massive Affiliate stuff. So that's awesome, my friend. Thanks for sharing all the golden nuggets that you've shared today. And you've dropped some serious.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You have really dropped some serious business wisdom today, and it's been an awesome time hanging with you. And you have shared a lot of valuable insight about business and entrepreneurship. So I want to express my gratitude for your presence over here. Thanks a million for joining us, James. And before we ramp up, if someone wants to connect with you or reach out to you, how they can find you or how they can connect with you, would you like to share?
How someone can find me?
Yeah, like how they can connect with you through your Instagram or Facebook. Would you like to share your link?
Absolutely. Instagram is definitely the best place to get hold of me. So my Instagram handle is 𝗕𝗟𝗪𝗪𝗏. That's the Taylor as in my last name, 𝗕𝗟𝗪𝗪.
Awesome. I'll drop the link on this video below. So if anyone wants to connect with James, definitely can reach him out if you have any concern about affiliate marketing or if you're stuck on your journey. So I know the best person that can help you out is James Neville-Taylor, who is also my mentor, who is also helping me out a lot with the Massive Affiliate Blueprint with my affiliate marketing journey. So I hope all of you enjoyed this fantastic session with James Neville-Taylor. And thanks everyone for tuning in the AtomicPreneur show. So if you want more amazing sessions like this in future, make sure to follow us on Facebook. I'll be also dropping this video on the YouTube. So if you're planning to watch the recording, you can watch it on the YouTube. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all. And definitely thank you, James, for having your time. I know you're really busy with a lot of changes on the Massive Affiliate Blueprint. Thank you, my friend, for having and giving me the opportunity to bring you on the stage and to share some values to my audience from you.
No problem, my friend. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the invite.